guys, thank you for joining me for another video. If you are new to this channel, welcome to this very loving community, and I hope that you would join us one evening at North of the Fray on Monday and Wednesday evenings as we continue our journey together, soaring high above the fray. I want to talk about narcissists putting their stink on you. Let me explain with telling you where I first heard this saying. I was in my dining room probably a little over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And the ex-sociopath was there with me, and he kept rubbing up against me. He just rub. And I was like, what are you doing? Why do you keep rubbing up against me and like bumping me and stuff? And he said, I'm putting my stink on you. And of course, then I was silly. So I'm just like, what do you mean putting your stink on me? That's so silly. And he said, well, I'm marking you so that no one else can have you. You're all mine. And of course, then I thought, oh, that's so cute and sweet. A whole demon in my living room or in my dining room. So it wasn't until, of course, after the breakup and after I realized that I am in a full spiritual battle that I understood what he meant by putting his stink on me. I think of it first, let's look at it from a very simple perspective first. Everyone just about has probably seen some version of the body snatchers. The body snatchers can tell who other body snatchers are. Or they can tell if someone is marked who lives with another body snatcher who's going to get got, if you understand what I mean. And so there's no need for that body snatcher who sees that human that's not taken yet to bother them if they've been marked by another body snatcher to, start the process. And there's no need for a body snatcher to attack another body snatcher because they have already been completely transitioned into whatever they are. I don't think we ever found out what they are. And so the narcissist has put something on you. You can call it and use whatever names you want, but I consider that they have attached demonic spirits to you, brought them into your home once you invited them in. And so when they mark you and these demons follow you, there's like a communication, a stink that's given off to other demonic creatures to say, oh, well, this one is being worked on. We're trying to collect this soul right here. So no need to bother them because there's someone obviously working on them already. Or if someone's already dark and their soul's already taken and they have turned themselves over to a reprobate mind, then there's no need for that person to really bother them either. So the narcissist marking you with your stink is attaching, again, demonic spirits to you, your person, your well-being, and even your family. Some of them get in really good with your family members or your children, and they mark them too. The narcissist doesn't just plan to get you, they plan to get anyone else who has the light that surround you and or your children. Once they discard you, I feel like, once they discard you, I feel like they have deposited all that they want to deposit there, and they just want to see how it's going to play out, to let it work, to see if they can really collect that soul. And when they can't, they hoover and come back around. Also, when you leave and you walk away, they hoover right away to see if they can somehow get a grasp. Because remember, the narcissist is on an assignment that he or she is clear is evil, to take out other people, to take out good people, God's people. And so when they leave their stink on you, this sends off a signal to other demons. So you're asking me, why am I telling you this? What did I do to get rid of it? Do I still deal with it right now? No, I don't deal with it anymore. It took a moment in time during my healing for me to realize that God was the only way I was going to make it out. And at that pivotal moment that I realized that There was no way out of this except for God. After I tried everything in the book, y'all, I tried all kinds of spells and everything. I'm not even a witch. I was just reading stuff, you know. I was trying everything but God. And so once I realized that none of that stuff worked for me, then I tried God. And I asked God, this is at the point after dealing with smearing and gang stalking and lying and the new supply contacted my boss, her children attacking me, and all of them harassing me, dealing with a miscarriage all alone, dealing with the fact that I couldn't get justice for being raped or couldn't have a voice anywhere, being slandered, dragged through the mud. The list can go on of horrific things that I was trying to process alone. And so I finally came to God and said, God, on my knees, on my face, I cannot do this by myself. If you don't help me, I'm not going to recover. I knew that. I was like, I don't know how to get out of this. This is how the trauma bond makes you feel. I don't know how to get out of this, because these demons are left around you to make sure you don't forget, to keep you stuck in that trauma bond, to keep you on that shelf. And so, in my humble opinion and experience, God is the only way, the only rescuer that saved me. So I called on God, and God, of course, had always been there. But I had been too busy blaming him for all of the mess that I got myself into. Let's just be straight up. Because God, in the beginning, he made it clear to me, even though I wasn't even on a journey to really serve God. I was sort of like the prodigal son. So I wasn't even on a journey to serve him, but he was still there, never leaving me nor forsaking me, because that was his promise to me. And so on my journey of trying to go into this relationship with the whole sociopath, God's like, don't do it. Don't touch it. I'm telling you, it's not good. I mean, every red flag, signal, alarms just going off. But I wanted what I want through the lust of my flesh. And so I touched Leviathan. I invited Leviathan into my home. And so when I invited Leviathan into my home, he begins to twist around me, twist my words, twist my thoughts, twist my the way I see things. When you invite Leviathan into your home, you bring confusion and darkness into your home. And remember, the spirit of Leviathan absolutely hates covenant. And so you'll find yourself feeling sort of like the narcissist felt. Feeling like you don't want to submit to someone's rules, that you don't like people because they're doing good. All of these things that have been projected on you through this demon that you have invited into your home. Now, I'm not saying this so you can feel so bad and so unforgiving of yourself. I'm telling you the way I uncovered the truth for myself, and I walked into healing. I realized that, yes, I invited this demon into my home. And so if I invited it in, I've got to send it out. I've got to command it to go, because that's what God's word tells me to do. And so when I asked God, laying down and crying out that I need help, God was there immediately. He had never left. And so God began to do a work in my heart. I went through the process of grieving, but what I can tell you for sure, at that moment, immediately for me, the burden lightened. I was able to see my way through to a full healing. I am still a work in process, but I am not the same person that I was when I started or when I came to God and cried out. I don't have any of those feelings anymore. The feelings of distraught and depression and all of that. I've not dealt with that. So I gave it over to God and said, God, you're going to have to help me out of this. Where do I start? Well, the things that came to me clearly were to start with getting rid of anything that person has given to you or that they've owned. All of their property, get it out of your home. Okay? First, you're going to pray. You're going to start there. You're going to suit up in the full armor of God. You're leaning on God. You're praying for God's protection and covering over your life. And then you're going to move forward with doing a spiritual cleansing. And then you begin to pray over your home, your life, your friends, your family, all of the people you love, because the narcissist intended to use you as a tool as well. Satan intended to go through the narcissist to use you and to get you to go after your family, to go after your children. They wanted to take the whole thing down. Remember, the narcissist is Satan's tool to steal, kill, and destroy. He has to send someone who looks like you in a human shell in order to convince you that this person is like you. There's just something off about them. But you could help them. You really cannot. Trying to help them is pouring your soul out into their black hole. Permanent death. And so, going back to cleansing your home, praying over your home, I use what's called blessed oil. And I went around and everything in my house was greased down. I'm telling you. Even my children, when they went to sleep, they woke up. Mom, there's grease all on my forehead. Well, yeah, I've been praying over my babies. Because whatever spirit was in here, I commanded it to go. It was not welcome. But I had to send it away. And then I trust God to fight that battle on the outside. So this is why they say when you clean up your house, at this point, when you've seen it for what it is, and you clean up your house, if you go back to that thing, you are no longer an involuntary member in the narcissist cult. You are a voluntary member. Once you see it, once you know it, as Job said, once you touch or you've experienced the spirit of Leviathan, you will never forget. And so if you go back to it now, knowing all that you know, that is a death sentence for your destiny. The narcissist could very well finish you. And you turn into someone or something that you do not know. Your soul has been snatched. Just like the body snatchers. And so, I wanted to make this video to let you know that if you're struggling with dreams, haunted dreams, you feel like their presence is around all the time, that's because those monitoring spirits have been left behind. And they are indeed doing evil deeds within your home. You might notice that your children might be having nightmares more frequently than not. And you're having nightmares, or sometimes the devil is so cunning, you're not necessarily having nightmares, but those demons are working on your emotions to sort of soften you up, to prepare you for the physical Hoover. And so, yes, the question has been asked before, can the narcissist Hoover you in your dreams? And people feel crazy for asking a question like that. I absolutely believe that the monitoring spirits that they leave behind can Hoover you while you sleep. Now, the narcissist is not all-knowing and all-seeing. The narcissist is not God. That's why the monitoring spirits are left there. It gives you an illusion that they have that much power when they really don't. And so the only way the narcissist can know what you're doing or what you're sensing is for you to not cleanse your home and not rid yourself of those spirits and the essence of them that has been left behind. So my encouragement for you all is to speak with God, connect with God, ask Him to order your steps to peace. Because there can be a whole storm going on around you, but when you get into the eye of that storm with God and hold His hand tightly, He protects you. He really does. And so ask Him, and He'll do just that. Again, as always, I hope that I've shared something helpful with you. Please let me know, those of you who have dealt with the nightmares, the different spirits, and what have you identified that to be, and what has been the path that you've chosen towards relief. Let's help our brothers and sisters out here. There are some people who are struggling with this and they don't know what to do, don't know what to call it. I'm telling you what I have done. Without God, I couldn't be here doing this today. And so when I decided to give it to Him, to let it cleanse my home, then I found my voice and I started speaking up, because I was being overwhelmed and overtaken by these spirits. I was being stalked and harassed constantly. had devices on my car, you know, all of those things. God made a way for me to get out from under those things. I got a new phone number and a new phone. Some people say they don't want to do that. And then, hey, that may not be something that you need to do. But when I was getting calls all throughout the middle of the night from different phone numbers, and I'm being followed on social media constantly, that's still happening. But it doesn't bother me as much because I don't lend ear or eye to it. It just, like, it bounces off of me. But, and then also, you know, I was able to get a new car. I couldn't find the device, couldn't afford to pay somebody $500 to cover my whole car and look for a device that I had heard go off a couple of times. So you got to lean on God, my humble opinion. But please share with others what you did to cleanse your house. What steps did you take? I know some people say they use sage and pray, and some people have something against sage. This is what I know. Allow God to tell you what to do. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Obey God. That's my best advice I can give you. I'm not God. I don't have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. All I can do is share my story the way that I feel it's on my heart. And I want you all to be free from these spirits that I know have attached themselves to you and to continue to keep you trapped in a mental cage. Once I cleaned my home, I realized that forgiveness was the path that I needed to take for total freedom. Because if I didn't, then my clean house would again become dirty, and that those spirits would come 7 times stronger if I were to allow bitterness to set in. I fought against the battle of bitterness. I'm telling you, a fight. So, trust God. Trust the process. Let's move towards healing, and let's get these people out of our lives. Get these spirits out of our homes. God bless you. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I am praying for you. Love the people who love you well. Goodbye.